Hello and welcome to teachmehowtofish.com. My name is Peter Sauer and I am going to show you how to both start your fly, so start your thread on your hook, and I'm also going to teach you how to tie off your fly at the end. I'm not actually going to tie a fly here, I'm just going to show you how to do this. So to start your thread, what you want to do is take your bobbin. Make sure it's all loaded up with thread. Now, you just set it on the back of the shank of the hook, and you're going to wrap back towards the bend 5 or 6 times right over the thread that you laid there. So one, oh, I missed it there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 6 is good to lock it in. 5 will probably be okay as well. And just trim off the excess. Get rid of it. Now let's say you tied your fly, you're at the end, bring it to the front, you've tied the head on your fly. Now I've done this a few times now, so it's a little crowded up there, but I'm going to show you anyway. There's a number of different ways you can do this. One of the ways is you can just do it by hand. You're going to tie it off using half hitches. Now, the way you do that, make the peace sign with your fingers. Set those fingers right down on top of the thread. Now what you're going to do is bring this thread kind of like you're crossing back over the shank. Now, flip your fingers so that they're pointing up now. Now make sure that thread is crossing over itself. Now you can wrap that little bit of thread right behind the eye and guide it in. I'm going to do that one more time here. Peace sign, set it down on the thread, wrap the thread over, cross your fingers up, make that cross. I'll set that right under the eye and guide it in right wherever you want it. Now if that's hard for you to do freehand, sometimes it can be. Just take your fingers, do that again, get it right where you want it. Now you can let the bobbin hang. Set one finger in there, hold it in place, grab your bodkin. It's basically just a big needle. You can set that needle right in there, and then you can guide it in with the needle. It's a little bit easier, a little more precise. Get it right down to where you want it. You can slide that bodkin right out of there. Now when you do the half hitches, you want to do 5 or 6 to make sure that you've tied it in real good. Now if you're trying to do this a little faster, there's that handy bodkin again. This time we're not going to use the needle. We're going to use the butt of this. If you look at it right down here, the very butt end of this bodkin is concave. Now bodkin comes in just about any basic fly tying set you can find. If you don't have it, you can find one at any fly shop. It's a pretty basic tool. The way you do this, and you're doing half hitches again, but you're not using your fingers. This time you're setting your bodkin, the butt of your bodkin, right on the thread, and you're wrapping the thread around the bodkin. Now you can just slide it in there. It's like I said, that's concave, so you set it right on the eye. A lot of hooks, this one that I'm using is very large, so I can't get it to cover the eye. But a lot of hooks, when you get down into like the 16, 18 size range, this bodkin will go right over that eye, and you can direct it exactly where you want it. It's pretty simple. And then same thing, just did that a little fast. Just wrap the thread around that bodkin. Set it right on the eye. You can slide that thread right in. Now, if if you want to get even fancier, which you don't really need to, depends on what you're doing, this tool can come in handy. This is a whip finisher. Now the way this works is, and there's a couple of different forms of a whip finisher, and there's even a way of freehanding a whip finish, but I don't do it. With the whip finisher, you can just hook it right on your thread like that. Now there's a little notch in this back part. It's a little spring. Now that you got that hooked over the thread, wrap the thread over that little notch. Now the spring tightens down a little bit. Now what you're going to do is you're going to let go, going to let it cross over itself there, guide the thread right down to the eye, and wrap 5 or 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now bring it down here, and that's where the spring comes in handy. You press it down and releases from the thread. Now you have that little hook, and that little hook is going to guide it right where you want it. It's pretty simple. Let me show you that again. Holding on to it, because this swivels on its own. Like if I grab it right there, this swivels. So you really have to try and hold on, or it'll twist on you. Put it right on there. You know, hook it right on the thread like I said before. Wrap it around under the notch. You let go. Bring it up like this. It crosses over itself right down to where you want it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're going to compress that little spring there to release it and guide it in with that little hook. Just like that. And now it's tied off. When you use a whip finish, you really only need to do it once or twice. When you're doing the half hitches, you are going to want to do it 5 to 6 times. So that's ready to go. I'm going to show you this again. I'm not going to explain, I'm just going to do it so that you can watch it and just get a visual again. Sometimes that helps. And wrapping back. I like 5s and 6s. I did 6 wraps there, locked it in. Now that's good to go. It's not going to slide off the hook. Wrap it back towards the front. Pretend like we're done tying a fly here. Peace sign. You can see that. I hope I'm in camera view there. Peace sign. Set it right on the thread. Wrap it around. Guide it in. Peace sign on the thread. Wrap it around. This time I'm going to use the bodkin. I'm going to guide that in. Okay. Now I'm going to use the bodkin again, this time to do my half hitches with the butt end. Wrap it around. Be careful of that needle. I've stuck myself a few times doing this. 2, 3, 4, 5. And remember, I'm just wrapping the thread right around the base of that, sticking it right on the eye, sliding it in. With finish, hooking it on, wrapping it in that little notch, crossing it over, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got it in. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Essentially creating a little nail knot there. Trim that off, and your fly should be done. You only have to use one method. Don't try all of them on one fly just because I showed you here. Just use one of those methods to tie off your fly, and you'll be sitting pretty. Again, thank you for visiting teachmehowtofish.com, and I hope you'll visit us again. Thanks.